guys, my name is Marty, aka CrypticExistence, and today I'm going to bring you part 2 of a 3-part series around League play class setups. So let's have a look at search today. Now, before we get into the class, I think it might be worth having a look at my score streaks. Now, this is pretty much a score streak setup that I run on all my game modes. But in search, sometimes it changes. The sentry is good to change out to the RCXD. Reason being, if you get taken out of the game for search to, control your RCXD, it's not a big sacrifice. You can hide in a corner somewhere and it doesn't lose you the game because you're not going to capture a point or something. But if it can get you a kill, it could potentially win you that game. So RCXD, surprisingly good. Sentry is just about as high as I'd ever run. And usually it stays on Sentry for me. But depending on the teams, depending on how I'm playing, I like to change that out for the RCXD. Now, the class setup. So search is obviously a lot different than hardpoint, and what that means is you want to actually be able to kill people and at the same time survive or play defensively if you need to. So defensive is not the word for this first class, but before we look too in depth into my rushing class, the thing I want you to notice is have a look at the camo I'm running in comparison to my hardpoint. If anyone's used Cyborg before, hideous on search, because if you're hiding, there's this great big orange thing standing out. So I just run carbon fiber from now on. It just helps me hide a little bit more if need be. That's a huge advantage that you need. So with the Scorpion, this one is pretty much like my rushing class that I use in hardpoint or something. We've got the laser, long barrel, and extended clip. Let's get those bullets straight into someone as quickly as possible, reducing any hip fire misses with the laser. Let's get them hitting at range as well with the long barrel and carrying some sort of power. Extended clip, this gun melts through bullets and you need to be able to keep firing when you've got more than one person in front of you, or sometimes even if there is just one person in front of you. Because it's a rushing class, I've got my lightweight and extreme conditioning on. I want to get straight into somewhere as quickly as possible. When I spawn, I flick to my knife and just bolt until my sprint has run out, change back to the gun, and usually you'd have an upper hand on someone. They just don't expect you to be there. Toughness, if they start getting bullets on you, you don't want to miss. With a gun that fires this quick, if you miss, it's the end of the game. And flak jacket is really just so that you don't get hit by any nades or something. I might even sometimes change that up with, say, running a second, third perk in tac mask so that you don't get hit when you're running. You know what? I might actually end up doing that. There we go. Much better for my rushing class. So this way, I'm not going to get done by stuns when you're sprinting, and this gun is horrid at range. So if you get done by a stun, you're screwed. My rush AR. This one, it's funny, I might actually end up changing both of these out because I had an absolute epiphany. So you need an AR for sometimes range. It's really good to have in Express when you run down into the terminal. The opponents tend to both meet and see long lines of sight at you. You want to be able to try and get them at that first gunfight, so you have to pull up your gun quickly, running dexterity and my quick draw handle. You want to get your bullets straight on, so I'm using reflex and toughness so that if I do get hit, I'm not going to miss. And then I've got my adjustable stock just to help me strafe, and that works really well with lightweight as well on an AR. Highly recommended. And similar to the previous tack mask, if you get hit by a stun or something, you're not going to get affected. Thumbs up to that. That'll be good. Actually, I haven't run that class before in search, so I'll start using it now. Now, this is when it's a little bit more serious and I've stopped my rushing and I just want to get it right. Okay? So my AN94 still has adjustable stock and quick draw, just to aim quickly and still be able to strafe and dodge bullets if need be. But notice my perks have completely changed and now I'm running tack equipment. So flak jacket, if I'm planting, I don't want to get naded. That's pretty much the end of the story there. Cold-blooded is really good because people tend to use dual band on this game mode, and this helps you not show up on that. It's really, really good because people like to throw smoke and you'll use a dual band through there. It's actually a good setup for a sniper class, but I don't run snipers. The next thing is my perk 3. These are huge perks if you want to play search properly. Dead silence. You don't want to be thumping around like an elephant around an enemy, because they'll know exactly where you are and they will always have the jump on you. Even if you know where they are, they will hear you coming. Awareness is really good to be doing the opposite. When you're the one sitting there and you want to hear those elephants coming towards you, you can actually, if you're running a headset, you can actually start picturing exactly where they are. That is invaluable because you know where they're going and you can try and get around the back of them without them even realizing. If you get cornered or something and you want to know how many enemies are out there around the corner and things, sensor grenades are really good. If you're going to do a little bit of a rush and you want to know how many enemies you're coming up against, sensor grenades almost work like a VSAT, but just for you, I gather. I don't know if your team sees them. I don't think they do. But it's really, really good because you can actually see A, how many people are around there, and B, which direction they're facing, which is awesome. I run 2 of them because that's a good setup if you're like in a 1v2 scenario and you can catch exactly what your enemies are setting up to do and get you with. So that's actually a really cool class. Hence why I also run them on my Scorpion. Notice perks exactly the same. Dead silence and awareness. I want to have silent footsteps. I want to hear people. Cold-blooded, I don't want to show up on dual bands. Flak jacket, I don't want to get done by grenades. And laser and long barrel, that's just because this is a setup I need for my Scorpion. Otherwise, I will completely melt through bullets and not kill anyone. So this is when I'm still playing a little bit aggressive. Obviously, I'm running an SMG, but there's short lines of sight. You can get away with this on, some elements of raid if you rush in the right areas. You can get away with it on express as well. So that's actually not too bad a class for close quarters. But the big things here: dead silence and awareness for search. Finally, my douchebag class. A lot of my subscribers know of this one already, and it doesn't change. So the only thing that's changed on this one is the camo. Let's just not stand out or anything like that. So look, I've got the quick draw and stock, lightweight and extreme and dexterity. That's just so that we can move well. The gun's heavy, you need lightweight. The gun's slow to pick up, you need quick draw and dexterity to complement that. And strafing is really good complemented with lightweight. So the target finder, it just paints you everyone in front of you unless they're running cold-blooded, hence why I tend to run it on some of my classes. And extreme conditioning, it's slow to move with it, but if you run that, you can probably get to the same position as you normally would with an AR, and that would set you up really well because this gun just melts through people. Toughness, you'll see someone and they can probably see you as well, but the good thing is you'll see them very, very clear, and if they hit you once or twice, you're not going to start completely missing everything, because toughness helps you get that shot still on. So guys, that's the end of the search setup. Make sure you like and favorite if you think it's really amazing. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, and you're liking me on Facebook so they can get regular updates as well, or send me any feedback. By all means, use the comments as well. If there's something you want to see from me, let me know. But the third and last part to this series, Capture the Flag, will be up probably in about a week on the next video. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and you guys have a good one, alright?